Well, it looks like we are live. I don't know if anybody's in here, but Tina and I are.
Hello, everyone.
Well, you're not live yet, are you?
No, mine's slower.
Yeah, so we got about 5 people, and is Roger in here? Because I got to highlight his. Roger Randall signed up as a Patreon member, and guys, let me tell you, whenever somebody signs up as Patreon member or YouTube, that really it humbles me. So, and there's Tater Dom.
Well,
So,
Tater.
and especially Patreon, because that, there's different tiers, and that really helps me go out, do more things, and so anyway, to go buy maybe some more bourbon, go traveling. Hey, even helps buy some gas. And that means a lot. So thanks, Roger, for that. And Tater Dom is here tonight. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. And he's giving the muscles to Roger Randall. So that's all cool. So thanks, everybody, for coming in. If you're here, say hi. And Roger says, need to keep you adventuring. Yes, I love to make videos. That's my favorite things. And look who's on here, Major Zero.
Hey,
And
Major
guys,
Zero.
if you enjoy bourbon, Major Zero has his own channel. And I'm going to tell you what, he is growing like crazy. Of course, he posts a lot, so that's going to help him. Some good stuff on there. And so go check out Major Zero. I think he's getting awful close to 3,000. He's probably only been doing this for a few months, but he is growing crazy. So go check him out. If I got a moderator on here, maybe we can get somebody to drop a link. There's Christy Lungwitz.
Hi, Christy. And shout out to Christy.
Yes.
For your recent loss.
Mm-hmm.
We have been keeping you in our prayers and our hearts.
Yes. We both know what that is like, Christy. So we're with you. And we thank you and Scott for being YouTube members and now Patreon members. And we really appreciate you guys. And we're going to meet up because I got to come up there and do some Iowa and Illinois bourbon hunting soon.
There's Tom and Mindy.
And Christy says, thank you. So guys, keep Christy and Scott and all of Christy's family in your prayers right now. Her mother passed away, and that's very tough. So, and there's Steve Hickey.
And Tom and Mindy.
Well, there you go. Tom and Mindy's on here too. Hello, everybody. And Steve was saying, let's party. I don't know how much I can party. He said he's Remus. Sipping on some Remus. That's cool.
Very good.
And I really like Remus. Of course, There's a lot of bourbons that I like, but I really like Remus. And there's Ronnie C. He says, of course, Steve says he's got his cigars and he's ready for a great night. And Ronnie C says, hey, Walt and Tina, we appreciate Ronnie. He's one of our members. Thank you so much, Ronnie. And there's Paulie Walnuts, who I remember from last time. Thank you for the prayers. Appreciate that. I know Christy does. And Scott. So love those guys. And so he's doing the pink hand wave over there. Okay. So I have to look, like sometimes on my StreamYard account, it says hand pink wave. So I look over at Tina's screen. I can say, oh, it's a pink hand wave. So hello, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you for coming in tonight, guys.
Yeah.
I hope everybody had a nice Christmas and a happy new year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since we've been on. We've been busy.
Yeah, let's hope everybody has a great 2024. I have a feeling it's going to be one crazy ride. Election year and all that kind of stuff. And who knows? You never know what's in store. Goodness gracious.
Certainly don't.
And there is the Jer, who's him and his wife Kim are the leaders of the Canadian fan club for the Frontiersman. So, and Canadian, if you love food and you have Instagram, go check out Jer's site, Canadian Barbecue Mafia. Oh my God, he makes a great. I cannot wait till this man grills for me and I can just sit there and eat. And probably drink a few things. So tonight, what we're going to do, as people are coming on in, and come on in. We need you to come on in. And Jer's blushing, which I'd like to see that. We sure appreciate everybody. So tonight, I'm going to give you my top 5 bourbons that I found in 2023. I mean, they're the best. It's just my favorites. But I would imagine if you can get a hold of any of these bottles, you would like them. And Tina is going to give you her 5. So we're going to do 5, but they're really not in order. Right. I would have a hard time. You can look at my list and see which ones I rated the highest, but I would say we're just going to do them in any order. Yeah. But I would say the first one is probably number 1. And then from there on, I'm not going to put them in order, but I might try to. So there's only 5. So I might try to say, all right, this is number 1 and go from there.
There's Kim. Hi, Miss Kim. How are
Kim.
You this evening?
We sure appreciate you guys. And man, 2024 is going to be good. We're trying to meet up with some people. We hope Derek and Cindy, I bet they're out there lurking right now. They said they were going to come on. So they like to lurk and see what's going on. But they've been big. Derek and Cindy's been a big help. But I'm going to talk about them right now because I don't know if they're here.
Right.
We just tell you we love them. And so Paula says he can't wait to hear our top bourbons. Before we do that, though, my birthday was December 22nd, right before Christmas. And you guys know that Nathan and Lori, they went to Bardstown with us. We did some distillery tours. Mm-hmm. They're so awesome. And they gave us a huge gift for Christmas and my birthday. And then also this was awesome for Christmas. Or was this my birthday?
Christmas.
This is Christmas. They made me how you do these. This is a stave, a tasting flight stave. And it had engraved on it the Frontiersman Bourbon Bar.
Is that cool or what?
That was so nice. Cindy says, we are here. So we're glad Cindy's there.
Hello, Cindy and
so
Derek.
I guess Derek is over there. You might want to wake him up. So we love those guys too. They've been really great to us, and they did a Cash-App to me, or oh no, they donated online. A thank you after watching one of the videos. A huge thank you.
Yes.
So if y'all probably seen it, you can go on the videos and you can do a super thanks, and they did for $100, and I was like, what? So that's just crazy. But we appreciate them. They were so good to us. When we went to Gatlinburg, they paid for our rooms. See, stuff like that really bothers me, but it also humbles me. It really does. So, because I don't feel like I'm worthy for any of this.
Appreciate y'all so much.
Or even this beautiful, ring the bell, beautiful flight stave That is so cool.
Nathan and Lori.
Nathan and Lori sent us that. So appreciate that. I'm just going to set this down.
You're not going to use it?
No.
For our little glasses?
We'll do that when we're doing taste tests.
Yeah.
All right.
True.
So,
New taste.
all right, we're going to let Tina start this off, and she's going to show you her number one. So number one is number one, I would say.
Yeah, I would
Favorite
have
bottle.
to say out of the ones I picked, this is probably my number one. But again, not necessarily in any order. And if you might recognize this from one of our bourbon hunts this past year in 2023. I happened to find this on the bottom shelf, hidden way back behind some other bottles. And I could not believe it. And it's going to be Russel's Reserve Private Barrel Selection. And that was at Total Wine in Las Vegas.
Yep. And, when we first got into this with 2021, we did a tour of 4 distilleries. And when we went to Wild Turkey, Tina immediately was like, oh, Russell Reserve my favorite. And I was like, I don't know. I think I like Kentucky Spirit better. So we were like arguing back and forth. And initially, Kentucky Spirit was my favorite. We drank all of the Russell, so I never was able to score it. But now we scored it, and the Russells beat it by 1 point. So should we try that right now? Look here, Dice Sniper.
Well, hello, Dice.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
How are you this evening?
And Roger said those are always good. Those Russell Reserve, and this is a single barrel store pick now, and that makes the difference because you can get the single barrel, but when you can get a private selection for Total Wine, focus. I need to get Tina's face out of the way. There we go. So it's a single barrel store pick by Total Wine. So that was cool. So we're gonna start with that. Just a little sip. Little sip. So this is Tina's number one for the year.
Reflect on my awesome bourbon hunt find.
Hey guys, Gunslinger Outdoors. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I love his stuff. He does a lot of shorts. You might want to go check him out. Go check out Gunslinger Outdoors. He does some really good. He does tent reviews and just cool videos. They're short, but they always have a good message. So check those out. And there's everybody saying hi to Dice because Dice is the man, the coolest guy I know, pretty much.
Bourbon brother for life.
He is. Yes, he is.
And there's Dave, Lots Creek Dave. And is BB in here as well? Good evening, Dave and BB.
Oh, there's Lots Creek Dave, one of our members who we missed last time when we were going out west, but we're going to see them hopefully February, something like that. We're going to make time just to go down because I want to meet Dave and BB. They're awesome people. So, and Gunslinger says, I appreciate him. I love what he does. So oh my gosh, this stuff smells so sweet. Really, really good. It just bubbles up. You got this caramel with like this brown sugar, and just it's a little thick, pretty decent, not real thick, but a decent viscosity. It's just a really good good bourbon.
It puts a smile on my face.
Yes, it does. And Thomas White says Weller 107 is his favorite.
Good.
And
welcome in, Thomas.
I've tried some Wellers, but I have not. Is that the antique 107? I guess is what that is. I have not been able to try that yet. I saw it. We saw it somewhere, but we didn't pick it up. Maybe Nathan picked it up. So maybe Nathan will let me try that one time when we're
Nathan has everything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That man, he's got more whiskey. So now we're not going to drink all 10. So that was a great story. Tina found that Russel's at Total Wine. And here's my number one of the year. And there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I love this. This is a great, great bourbon. Wild Turkey, Kentucky Spirit. It's a single barrel, signed by Jimmy and Eddie. And this bottle was gifted to be by Courtney and Matthew Cox.
Yes.
So they knew that I love this stuff, and they found it's got the new label on it, and they found that. I just can't and mailed it to me, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" And like, oh my God, I could not believe it.
Such a nice gesture and sweet, sweet friends.
I'm gonna actually.
We haven't gotten.
I know I said I can't taste everything tonight, but I'm gonna try some of this.
We haven't gotten to meet them yet, but
no. But that's Granny's daughter.
Yep, Granny and Dice.
Yep. Oh gosh, that's so good.
I gotta smell it.
You can taste it. You want some?
Yeah.
You better.
Might have a taste of it.
That one's running low. Well, actually, both of these bottles are running.
I have to, we both have our favorites, but we also share favorites.
Oh, that's good. That's good too. That's so good. That's a hard press to pick between these two. The Russel's has a little bit something, just a little bit different.
Compare them. Yeah. Here, you want to put this back over there so it's not.
Yeah. So number one for Tina was Russel's Reserve. I would have picked Russel's Reserve, but I gave her first pick. And number one for me is Kentucky Spirit. They're so close. And there's Terry Meyer. Hey, Terry. Thanks for coming in. What a good guy he is. That's another person I want to meet.
Good to see you tonight.
Love Wild Turkey. Reminds me of high school. Yeah.
And how about that?
You probably hung out with Peavine, didn't you, Tom?
Both of our kind of number ones are Wild Turkey products.
Yes. That's really, really good. And oh, they're both good. The finish is so similar. Of course, maybe I'm getting that because I just drank the Russells. Both of those are just outstanding.
Yeah.
Just outstanding.
I am so thrilled.
Oh, gosh.
So thrilled that I found that.
Major Zero. That Russel's 13 has been on my search list.
Yes.
I don't even know if we've seen it. If we did, it was $500 or $600. I know that's like, I think the going price may be, I don't know, $253. Maybe it's as high as $5 or $6. I just can't bring myself to do it, but I've heard it's so good. That and the Jack Daniel's 12. I've heard both of those are outstanding. So, yep. So, Tina, what's your second one? And these are not in any order.
Right.
From here on out. I'm going to try to sort of give you, it's not going to be what I think is the best. It's just our favorites.
Yeah. Right. So for me, another favorite is dun dun dun. Never Say Die. And this is, now I don't know if I can put that up to the camera good or not.
It's going pretty good, actually. Never Say Die. Go ahead, honey.
And this is one that we received from none other than Chris and Catherine from the Midlife Ride.
Mm-hmm.
We took a trip to Bardstown in July of 2023 and did some distillery tours and things there with them. And they brought this to us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually, now you're going to know the story better, but from England.
Yep.
Is that right?
It's barreled in England.
Barreled in England.
Yeah. So the story is this young girl who was struggling, and she went to the horse races. There was a horse from Kentucky who was 33-1 running in this horse race. And she put all the money she had on this horse. And the horse won. And the horse's name was Never Say Die. And he didn't. He won the race at 33-1. She won a pretty good fortune off of this. She won enough money to actually open up a recording studio, and a sort of like a theater where actually the Beatles ended up playing. So that is a really, really cool story. And Chris and Catherine are so nice. That's one of the best stories of a whiskey I've ever heard. So that was so nice. They know I love horses. Horse racing. I bet the horses too much. And so I really enjoyed that.
Jared's going to bring us a special bottle to Gallenberg.
Yes, he's going to bring us a special bottle. Can't wait to see that. So we'll do that.
Sounds good, Jared.
So Never Say Die was her number 2. And my number 2 is Calumet 16.
We got to have some of that.
Guys, this stuff, it's really good. And it's really good. And it's each of these bottles has different horses on it. And this is Citation, one of the greatest horses to ever race. And that's a picture of him racing, if you can see that. And we, a lot of these, if you go back and look at the live streams, we've talked about all these bottles. And so you might want to refresh yourself. Mm-hmm. So Calumet 16, this is so good. And we're going to try that right now. Let's open up.
Yeah. Got to try this one, guys.
I'm going to do this with the Frontiersman. And guys, you can sign up as a Patreon member and you'll get one of these with the Bigfoot Walking and Frontiersman Adventures if you sign up to Patreon, just like Roger Randall did.
That's right.
So that's awesome. Ooh, that was a big pour.
Just a little. There you go.
Oh, God, that smells so sweet, so nice.
Now, did you already say where you found this one?
Well, we actually, I saw it. We were on a West Virginia bourbon hunt and went to one store, and I think that it was 189. So I was about ready to do it because I liked the store, I liked the people, and they were real nice people. We ended up picking up another bottle of something else. So then we drove on down to CJ's liquor store, and there it was at CJ's for $159. Everybody, now CJ's is a great store. It's like I posted a video about CJ's not too long ago, and they had a huge allocation drop. And some of the stuff might have been a little bit high, but if you go to, a certain app that I use called the Booze app, you can see that it wasn't real out of line with the fair price. Some of them were, and some of them weren't. Most all of them were over the manufacturer's suggested retail price, but you're always going to find that somewhere. There's Neil Macedo.
Hey, Neil.
That's our Australian connection right there.
Good evening, mate.
What a good man he is.
And Tom said everything tastes better out of one of those glasses.
Thanks, Tom. I would have to agree with that. So, you can sign up and, I'll send one of these glasses out to you after a couple months. And now back to this Calumet, which was number 2. This stuff is sweet.
It's been a while since we.
A little more oakiness. It's been in the barrel for 16 years. So I get a lot of oakiness on the nose too.
Derek said the son-in-laws love the Glencairns. That's awesome.
Awesome. That is good. So yeah, we sent some to Derek and Cindy to give to their son-in-laws. So that's cool. Very cool. I'm glad they liked them. God, this stuff. I just want to smell it.
That's all three so far. That's
yes.
like I just want to smell it. It's like I can.
Major Zero says, is it bitter or too dry? Well, let's just see. It bubbles up sort of between the beginning of the tongue and mid palate. I don't get any drying at all. I mean,
I don't
maybe
either.
It's just me, and I don't get a whole lot of oak on the taste. Do you?
I get some. On the end. But I like that oak. So to me, if you don't like the oak as much, Major Zero, it might seem bitter, but to me, that's not bitter.
Yeah. To me, like for being in the barrel 16 years, you would think you would get a lot more oaky bitterness and dryness, but I don't. And of course, what I taste is going to be different from what you may taste. So I just now I'm sitting here. I can get after talking a little bit, maybe I get a little dryness. But the way you solve that is to have another sip.
Keep it flowing.
Oh, man. Now, it doesn't have the full flavor like the Russell's does. It doesn't have all those tastes. I think maybe the oakiness takes away some of that. I don't know. It should add to some flavors. But mostly what I get is like just sweet, like caramel, vanilla, brown sugar. And then the oakiness happens, but it's not like overbearing to me at all. I really like it.
But I can see what he's saying about the dryness, though. Especially like what you said, when you compare it to a fuller flavor bourbon.
Oh, yeah. And then, like he says right here, it says, my Elijah Craig C923 is a bitter. I get one of the bitter. I think I got one of the bitter ones, too. And I would say it's probably a little more bitter than this because it was aged 13 years and 7 months. So I've got 2 bottles. We'll have to hold off because those are on our list. So we're going to talk about those. But this Calumet, man, you could. And actually, now I went back to the nose and I get a little earthiness out of this now. Never really had that before.
It's been open for a while, so maybe that's why.
I like that. Yeah. And the more I'm sipping, and now that Major Zero's got me thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, it is a little bit more bitter, but I like it. Because, like I said, the way you solve that is to have another sip.
Yeah. But now I
And
do
it's
get
really
it too. I do get it.
All right,
First
so
that
let's
I
go
didn't.
on to number 3. Number 3.
Okay.
And then later we may tell you some Bigfoot stories. So a couple actually, a Bigfoot story and a other kind of pretty creepy, scary story.
Creature story. Okay, ready?
Yeah, I have to look at. Tom said he enjoyed the smoky maple old fashioned at AFT last week. What's AFT?
He was in Vegas. Or were you in Vegas last week, Tom? For New Year's, I think. Remind us again what AFT is.
Yeah, you have to tell me what AFT is.
Sure.
Kim says she loves my stories. And most of my stories are, true. And if not, I make them up. So
okay. So a third favorite for me.
He says it's a bar at the Wynn. Okay. AFT.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and hang on just a second.
Okay.
While he's talking about old fashions, I just did a video. I put it out today. I went over to West Virginia, Fayetteville, and I had a smoked old fashioned, and it had Old Forester 100. Oh my gosh,
nice.
that was so good.
Cool.
So anyway, go ahead.
There
Tina.
is Tom E.
I hadn't seen this man. I saw him on a video. Excuse me.
Happy
Recently.
New Year, Tom.
Happy New Year, buddy. 2024. I hope it's your best.
Yes. So good to see you.
Always good to see Tom. He's such a good guy.
So my next favorite one, which I'm a big fan of this anyway, would be Mr. Father of Bourbon himself, Elijah Craig, C923. If you can see that. And I think we already tried it on Alive.
And why do you like that so much?
It just has good flavor. Also, I do. Here's why. I about forgot. I've only had a couple sips of bourbon. No, but not only do I like the whiskey or the bourbon, it's a gift from Cindy and Derek Stephan. And again.
And also,
we got 2 bottles. Nathan and Lori, our friends, Nathan and Lori. And it's so funny because we were hunting it, couldn't find it. Cindy and Derek found it. They immediately got it, sent it to us. And right around the same time, Nathan
when we got home.
Yes, when we got home from Las Vegas in October, he had found it too. Yeah, and here he comes
bringing it over. I'm like, oh my God, you got. Well, he actually he told me that he had it, so I bought him a couple of bottles
on our hunt. Yeah,
to bring. So we did a trade, so that was cool.
But anyway, I'm gonna have to taste this one. Sorry.
You go right ahead.
Do you want some?
No, I'm good.
He's not gonna.
I'm trying to catch up with some of these comments. Brother Neil, Happy New Year. Yeah, Tom and Neil. I haven't met Neil. Love to meet Neil. I met Tom. He's wonderful. And Tom's drinking Johnny Walker Red, and he says he has to catch up to us. And here's Cool Running. Hey, folks, cheers. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. We appreciate it. And who's Mr. GQ? Is that Tom or who is Mr. GQ? I don't know if that's Tom or Neil. Probably Neil.
I think Dice is referring to Tom.
I didn't know Tom was GQ. Is Tom GQ?
I don't know. Only Mr. GQ knows who he is.
Johnny Walker as well. I've only tried Johnny Walker once.
Kenokid.
And that actually might be twice, first and last. But anyway, that's just me.
There's Keno. Oh Lord,
Kenokid.
What are you shooting tonight?
I don't
Keno?
have. I'll tell you, one of the best things I've tried all year was this Penelope single barrel cask strength. I think it was that Nathan had.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff was really, really, really good.
We don't have it.
We don't have it, so I can't score it.
I'll smell this. Just.
Oh, that is good.
Smells so
Man,
good.
that is so sweet. Oh gosh, just give me the bottle. I gotta try it. Y'all want me to try? Should I try the thumbs up if I should taste this? The Elijah Craig C923. You know what I'm gonna do? For once, this is the first year that I was able to get the A123, the B523, and the C923. Now, I thought the A123 was excellent. I thought the B was, it was okay. It's decent.
Keno said they call Tina Mrs. GQ. All right.
Tina is Mrs. GQ.
Not hardly. Tina needs to get herself in shape this year. That's what she's going to do.
All right. We're going to pour this little sip. God, I poured too much.
You'll have to keep
for not
sipping
really
on that.
liking it that much. I mean, I do like it, but you would think it was, hang on, Tim. That this is about halfway gone.
Steve said you should
That's
taste
crazy.
them all, Walt.
Oh,
Like it wouldn't be
good. This is number 3, and we got to move on. We're only on 3, and I ain't even given my number 3 yet. So there's people.
It wouldn't even be a frontiersman whiskey talk without us trying them all, would it, Steve?
Wow. Yeah. See that starts out sweet, but my gosh, it's mid palate. It starts really drying up and getting really bitter to me. I love the first part of it.
It is compared to the ones before,
and the heat too.
It does have a bitterness to me.
I think what this does,
I like it though.
Usually like higher proof stuff I like, but at 133, this is 133 proof. See if I can get that focused. 133 proof. C923. It starts out really sweet, and then, man, it dries up, and you just get this alcohol burst, which will definitely leave your palate dry.
Well, hello, Watchman 999. Welcome in.
Tom E. Blue is not worth it. Aaron 18 or Spayburn 18 would be so much more enjoyable for 1/3 of the price. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
We're talking, what did Keena say? Did I miss something?
133 proof. Definitely shootable. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, do a couple shots of those,
Keno.
and you'll be done for the rest of the night. Here, put that back over there.
Oh, gosh.
Keno, I'm going to bring him that bottle.
Oh.
So, Major Zero, I don't know if he's still here or not, but there has been a controversy of some people were saying the C923, what the bottles they got were really good, and then others were saying the bottles they got were like we're describing, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange, but
it is. It's very bitter.
That is definitely potent, Dave. Yeah. So Major Zero says he's here, and I gotta have to agree. You know what you do with that? What you do is you have like a little cracker. Take some of that heat out of your mouth.
Oh, I can't wait till we do a tasting with a whiskey tasting with food.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna do
Whatever
that.
you call
We're
it.
gonna do that with what we call pairings.
Yes, pairings.
We're gonna
I
do
was
something
trying
like
to find the word too, and I couldn't find it.
But whew, that's hot.
It's got some heat
That's got
and
some
bitterness.
Yeah.
But I still like it though. I can still
Check
drink
your
it.
laser code. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll have to check the codes on the other one compared to this one because I've got another bottle, and maybe, hopefully, the other
Maybe
one's
they're
better.
different.
I'm gonna do it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a
Side
side
by
by side
side.
on these and see if they're the same or see
Yeah.
if they're whatever. All right, my third, which again, I
Whiskey and steak. Jair's in.
whiskey and steak. He's in. I agree. Here's my third. Oh, that wasn't the one, honey. I just put the other one up.
There's another one back there.
No, it's the barrel.
Oh,
What'd I do with it?
I don't know. Uh-oh, he's done messed up. There's so many favorites. It's like, it's hard.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Why wasn't this in mine? I'm stealing.
So number 3 for me. This is a 10-year, 108 proof. So we're going down 25 points on the proof. And so this is the barrel bourbon. Yeah, come on, focus in there. Cask strength, 10-year. And it is, you can see it's 108.86 proof. So barrel bourbon, they make some really good stuff. So we're going to try that. I'm going to try that in our new Woodford glasses.
Oh.
Aren't those cool?
I will too.
They're a little different from the Glencairns, but I think they do pretty much the same thing.
We got those at the distillery, Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, Watchman, we don't have Russell's 13. I wish I did. So if y'all want to mail me a bottle, I sure wouldn't reject it.
Yeah.
But I also would not want you to do it because that's
too much money.
Yeah, it's just way too much money.
We can't pull the trigger on that one, but we might. If we find it, we might. We'll have to go in halvesies on that.
Tom says, I hope your house never catches fire. All that alcohol.
I know.
I know, for sure.
The back of this house would be.
And Watchman likes the Woodford glasses. Thomas says, I like Jack Daniel's single barrel proof 128. It was much better than 1793 full proof. Okay. Yeah, we've got I think the Jack Daniel's barrel proof I had, I think from not last year, but the year before, it was like 131, I think. And it was pretty good. And Tom's has something covering his eyes, the alien covering it.
He's like, hi, Terry Myers. Hatfield Barbecue.
That's Terry Myers is somebody else I want to meet too. He seems like such a good guy.
Welcome in, Hatfield.
Oh, here we go. Hatfield Barbecue. Sweet. That's funny. My mom was related to the McCoys, and I think my dad was related to the Hatfields, or one or the other, on down the line somewhere. So that's cool. That Hatfield Barbecue. Favorite Maker's Mark. Well, I have a foolproof Maker's Mark, which is my favorite. It's a Virginia ABC store pick, and it's a foolproof. That is good. And if I'm not passed out, I'll try that in a little while.
I'll have to remember. Should I write that down so we don't forget?
Don't worry about that. We'll get together, Dave. We'll try that when I get there. So that'll be good. So we're gonna try this.
Save it for when we meet you. That'll be fun.
All right, that's a little bit better. Pour the whole bottle like I've been doing.
Oh, this is so good. If I remember correctly. Why is it not in our favorites?
It is. This is the third.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is my number 3. So we'll recap. Tina, your number one was?
Russel's.
My number one was Kentucky Spirit. My number two was Calumet. Her number two was?
Never Say Die.
And my number three is Barrel Bourbon. Cast Strength 10-year. And your number three?
Elijah Craig C923.
Mostly because I think she likes it mostly because Derek and Cindy sent it to us, and that's why I love it too. And also Nathan and Lauren sent us them all.
And we hunted for it.
That's the whole point of the thing.
It's
and then we
like,
get two of them.
You get invested in that, and
yep.
Not to say that that's going to make or break whether you like it or not, but it's part of the whole, what do you call it? The whole experience.
It is. Tom asked a good question. Do you keep a stock of whiskey for barter when the doc? I've got so much whiskey. Yeah, I'll sell it to just about anybody, but don't tell the ABC that. No. And with the dollar collapses, yes. Well, the other thing is, and Tom, you bring up a really good point. I mean, if whiskey is how they used to kill infection. It kills everything in your stomach. So like good and bad. But if you're having a problem, you can't go to the doctor, everything's messed up, then maybe you got some whiskey. Maybe if whatever happens, you got some whiskey. All right. So a lot of reason. She says, we have some Makers Idaho store pick. Can't wait to share it with you. Oh yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yes, I remember.
Oh yes,
when y'all got that.
Yeah, I'd like to try that. There's Shakey's
review.
Heck yeah!
Welcome in, and
thank you,
Amy. Miss you, girl. Good to see you in here.
We love Amy. She is a mess, and we just
love her.
And y'all check out Shakey's reviews if you haven't. I think he's got a channel, I'm pretty sure. And
yes, Neil. Whiskey and honey is good for colds.
Yes.
Speaking of colds,
yes.
I've had a cold/cough since, I don't know, well before Christmas. Still have it, getting better, but this is certainly helping tonight because I really haven't had much whiskey. I tasted a little bit with you and Nathan on New Year's, but not a whole lot. And this is good for that.
They get some heat on this. 108. But my goodness, it's sweet up front. Wow. Sweet and cinnamony. There's heat. It's some heat on this.
I did forget about that.
What, about the heat?
Yeah. On this.
It's like a cinnamon bun, and then all of a sudden it gets, I'm seriously, it's like cinnamon, sugar, and then it's just
very, very sweet.
You've got that heat, but you know how a lot of times it goes into your chest? Well, this seems like to go straight to my nose.
Yeah.
You get the same thing?
Stays right up kind of in my mouth and my nose, not way down in my chest. Maybe later it starts moving, but the sweetness kind of balances that hotness out. I think for me, it doesn't make it as hot, if that makes sense.
Man, it's got like a really, gosh, even sweet on the finish too. Now, once you take a couple sips and you get it going back through your tongue, wow. It's a little bit of oakiness, a tad of bitterness, but it's not like, you got to really concentrate to me to get that because it's so sweet on the finish too. And how you sip is going to make a difference too. If you take a big gulp, you're going to get it. If you shoot it like Kenokid, you're going to get like a lot of heat.
Keno, he is such a whiskey rule breaker.
Oh goodness! And Neil says he hasn't tried a lot of bourbon, before. So, well, Neil, if we ever get hooked up in Vegas, I always bring some bourbon and we'll try it. And, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Some people just don't like it. 43 people. I've got 45. So I appreciate everybody coming in. A couple things.
He said he can handle the heat.
First, let's take a pause after this round. Look at this shirt I have on from Into the AM, which you can go to my site, the Into the AM. I'm going to type it up here. If you like this t-shirt, you can go to intotheam.com/frontiersman. They had a sale up for 80%. I don't know if that's still up there, but let's go to the sale items. And I think this one's on sale. You can get it pretty cheap. So it's pretty cool. I love their t-shirts. They're the most, Tina can tell you, I wear them all the time.
Yeah.
The only other ones I wear all the time are my Frontiersman shirts, which are very comfortable too. And you can get those at Teespring. But these things are so comfortable. So check those out.
Hey, Scott. Welcome in, buddy.
Is that my man, Scott?
Yes, he is sipping on some Heaven Hill bottled in bond.
That's good stuff. It almost made the top 5. I'd say it's like...
Yes.
But the reason I didn't, I gave my bottle to my son because I love my son more than I love the bottle. But I wanted my son to enjoy that bottle. And now, seriously, I gave it to Dana because I'm like,
all right, we got to get another one then.
I know. Shakey's Reese said, thanks. I do, but not too active lately. Most craft beer and beard products. Oh, cool. There you go.
Amy.
And let's see, Tom, you're supposed to be watching this.
I am.
Do you bourbon hunt in Huntington or Hurricane? I haven't been there yet. So Thomas, if you'll tell me, we went to Huntington one time and I actually found in a little store on Fifth Avenue in Huntington, I found my very first Elijah Craig, I think it was 121. A121 or A122, one of those. And I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, oh my God, this place, this, you probably know where it is. It's on Fifth Avenue and, or is it 5th Street? I forget. I went to Marshall. It's the ones that run along the river. I think those are avenues, and ones that run parallel from the river are streets. Or am I wrong? Am I getting that backwards?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. So anyway, down that way.
Thomas
so
said
picked
Huntington
up
Beverage.
Huntington Beverage. Okay. So is that where he says to go?
Yes. And Jared
Gosh,
said
I'm way
Andy
behind.
is sitting at home enjoying a White Claw spritzer.
Who?
Jared said Andy is sitting at home enjoying a White Claw.
Andy Goodspeed. Of course he is. That's of course he is. Keno says he can handle the heat. Yeah, baby.
Yep.
Keno can handle the heat. Guys, that barrel, gosh, this stuff is good. I mean, that is very good stuff.
Yeah.
Barrel bourbon. Good stuff.
Good.
This was a 10-year. And let me get caught up, and we're going to do number 4. Don't want to keep people hanging on. Neil says, thank you. And yes, I don't know what he's saying thank you to, but we'll meet up in Vegas sometime. And there's Shakey's reviews.
Keno's going grocery shopping with Candy.
Oh, Lordy. I'm just
He
waiting on
us.
Traveler to hit. I love him, too. I really do. And Candy.
Love you and Candy, Keno. Miss you guys.
Think about y'all a lot and your boys for sure. Hit Georgia early next week. Waiting on Traveler to hit Georgia early next week. There you go. Hi, guys. Enjoying the live, sipping on some Heaven Hill. We talked about that. That's good stuff.
Shaky's reviews said
Amy says she's a mess, so call me Amy Mesterston. What? Hot mess, Amy.
Shaky's
And
review said that was a great pour. He picked up his first Russell's 10-year today. And then somebody said,
oh, cool. Look at Roger. He says he only wears into the AM long and short sleeve tee. You're right.
cool.
And so Roger, from now on, when you go order, just order and you help me out. Appreciate it. And also those of you that came in, Roger is my newest Patreon member. He joined at the Yeti level, which is huge.
Cheers to Roger.
Cheers. Everybody should say cheers, Roger, because I appreciate that support a lot. I mean, that means everything. See, what do we miss? Scott, that's a great pour. I picked up my first Russell's 10-year today. Ooh, Russell's 10-year, that's pretty decent, but it's not as good as if you can get a single barrel store pick. Just that was our first. So we've done 1, 2, 3. Tina's gonna do number 4.
And Shaky said tried his first barrel bourbon on New Year's Eve. Seagrass was very tasty.
We love Andy.
Number 4 is going to be dun dun dun. I was kind of waiting
to see if PJ came in.
Yeah.
We'll put it off as number 5.
Okay.
Maybe he'll come in.
I'll wait just to see if PJ makes it in. I know he was busy kind of doing something tonight, but I'll hold off on that one.
That's a good one.
So a number 4, and again, not in any order, but would be Henry McKenna 10-year bottled in bond.
Yes.
And this,
good stuff.
Again, was a find and a gift from our awesome friends, Nathan and Lori.
Mm-hmm. And I actually picked up another one myself when I got home. Here comes Nathan coming over. And well, I'd actually picked it up maybe a few days before, and I forgot. I put it on the shelf. And then Nathan comes in and is like, hey, I got you this Henry McKenna. I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you don't have it, do you? I said, I don't think so. That was great stuff. Then after we opened the bottle, we tasted it. We're like, that stuff's pretty good. Then I found the other bottle. I'm like, guess who got that? My son, Daniel.
He inherits a lot.
He inherits a lot. All right, go grocery shopping.
Do you want to do a
yeah,
little taste?
that's good stuff. Yeah,
Get
I wonder.
glass.
I'll just pour it right here on this. Ooh, he tried the seagrass. So I have not tried the seagrass. We did another one, which was Dove. Is there something like Dovetail or something that's not?
Yeah.
Not. We didn't like too much. Me and Nathan tried that.
But yeah, I want to see what the seagrass is because we haven't tasted that.
Now I'm gonna tell you what. Heaven Hill Distillery is really kicking butt with bottled in bonds.
Yes.
I mean, so it means it's 100 proof. It has to be aged at least 4 years, and they're doing a great job. And it's inspected by the federal government and all that kind of stuff. So they've got that Heaven Hill bottled bond, which I think is great. And this Henry McKenna is great as well.
We miss you too, Amy.
Well, come see us, Amy.
That's right.
I don't want to come to your workplace up there at the Southern Exposure, so you're going to have to come down to the...
She gonna kill you. She'll be like, oh my God. Well.
Ooh, Heaven Hill was that for $47. Good deal. McKenna 10 is a great pour. It is. It is. Again, let me thank everybody for coming in. I appreciate y'all so much.
Yes.
So let's try this in it. Man, that's good.
Wow, that's very smooth.
That's just sweet all the way from the beginning to the end. I mean,
and like
goodness.
not much heat
No,
at all.
you don't get
It's
much
just a
heat.
smooth sipper.
Yeah.
She's laughing at you. Love Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge.
Is that the one that's behind the
we went past
the old mill?
I think you come down that road.
No, I think that's a different one. If it's the one behind the old mill restaurant, we did check out some bourbon there. If it's the distillery that's on the road behind there, I'm not sure.
We haven't been to it.
So I can't.
We might need to go just to see.
Yeah, we do need to just do a tour.
Checking out. Yeah.
Yeah. We did a couple tastings at the Gatlinburg package store, and I can't remember if it was the King's. I don't want to misspeak because it wasn't my favorite. So I don't know. Need to go do that. But in the meantime, Lord,
maybe we'll go do it when we are down there next time, and we'll let you know.
Neil, this would be one like for a beginner to taste, because it's very smooth. It's only 100 proof. It's pretty darn sweet. It's a good bottle. That's a good pour. That's a really good pour.
Yeah,
really.
It's a good sipper.
Mm-hmm.
Easy sipper.
So
that's why I like it.
This I'm gonna Google the King's family. Oh, that's in Sevierville. So that might be the one that's let's see.
We're gonna check it out.
I don't think we gotta check that out.
I feel like
that's the one we drove by.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's Upper Middle Creek Road.
Yeah. We drove by it.
Yeah,
but we've never done it.
Yeah. We've driven by that because we'll take the back roads sometime. Like if we're trying to get from Gatlinburg to Pigeon Forge, we'll take that back road. So yeah, I can't speak to that. It says the Craftsman's Community.
Amy,
okay, so we'll check it out.
She said, "There you go, talking about me, sweet and smooth. Oh, and 100 proof." That's right, Amy. It's all about you.
So we're coming up on number 5. I hope we haven't lost a bunch of people.
Numero 50. Did you do your number 4?
Yeah, I just did barrel. So I've done number 1, Wild Kentucky Spirit for me. Number 2 was Calumet, and number 3 was barrel. So we hadn't done 4. You're doing 4.
You haven't done 4. I have.
What'd you do?
Henry McKenna was my number 4.
Okay, so for you, Tina, Russell's Reserve Single Barrel number 1, Never Say Die number 2, number 3 was the Elijah Craig, and number 4 was the Henry McKenna 10-year. And for me, number 4, which really it might be number 1, 2, or 3. I just really, really love this stuff. As you can see, it's going away quick. This is Blue Run High Rye. That's not a rye, but it's a high rye bourbon whiskey. Blue Run High Rye Bourbon Whiskey. Not only is it the best looking bottles around, the bottles are so cool.
Tom and Mindy said, counting shots is hard. Randall's reminding you 4 for you, Walt.
All right, let me open number 4, and then I'll sip that, and then I'll tell a Bigfoot story.
Cindy said we might want to split this into 2 or 3 lines.
And Roger is keeping me in line because as a new Patreon member, he should. you know. And Cindy says you might want to split this into 2 or 3 lives. Nah, we're going to be all right.
And Tom said, there's no more room for booze on the shelves. We have it under our hats. Like literally, Tom, not kidding you. It's completely lined up on the floor.
There's bottles on the floor.
We have to do something. We're expanding.
If y'all know me, just well, we are sort of. We're actually going to move from here. We've been debating about going in the storage building or onto our back porch. It's kind of sunroom, but I think that's going to win.
Yeah.
We don't have to put electricity. We don't have to do all that
It's going to be a studio whiskey lounge.
Yeah.
Bourbon lounge.
So we're going to need a lot more Patreon members. I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm going to do a video of what we're going to do and what we want to make this place. So, and then we're going to need some more Patreon members to step up and help me out on that. It's going to be pretty awesome when we finish. It's going to be very nice.
I'm looking forward to the finished project.
And we wouldn't even be thinking about this had we not had YouTube members and Patreon members that support us. So y'all are going to help make this new studio bourbon bar a reality. So here we go. Tom, using my fingers.
Tom said, drink it, Tina.
Now this Blue Run.
Try it.
This is going to have to be a new. Do we have any? I hope we got enough bottles. Yeah, I got a couple more.
Yeah, we've got glasses.
Just a little sip. Just a little sip.
Okay.
Blue Run.
Oh my God.
High Rye. I'm gonna set this in the floor. Well, didn't mean to drop it. I'll just sit it back here. If you haven't tried Blue Run.
Oh, Jared just signed up.
Thank you, my goodness. Jared. I appreciate that a lot, buddy. I really do. That means a lot.
Yes, it does.
I was talking to Jared on the phone this evening, and we're like, I feel like I know you.
I know.
But we still haven't met because, I see him on his little Instagram videos and stuff like that, and we always talk. So that means a lot, buddy. Appreciate that a lot. Oscar says, great live stream. We just saw your KBT videos.
Oh, Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Cool.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. It is Christmas time to go. It didn't look crowded.
It was a great time.
It was.
It was
the tours. You were able to get them.
Yep.
Of course, it
was the weekend after Thanksgiving, so it was the very beginning of December when we went, and it was it was great.
It was awesome. So
it was great. We stayed in Bardstown, which is an awesome town to stay in.
And we went
highly recommend.
We went to Evergreen Liquor Store in Bardstown, and I didn't video in there like I should have. So now I've got to go back. I've got to go back.
I know I don't know. I don't understand. We got to go back now.
Yeah, we got to go back and film Evergreen. Because they had a pour of Elmer T. Lee for $15. Now, I love Elmer T. Lee. Good. I know Major Zero. He ain't a big fan. But I love Major Zero, but I also love Elmer T. Lee. I just think that's just some great stuff. So appreciate that. I would say definitely after Thanksgiving, check it out. Mm-hmm. So
the time before when we got to go
was good.
A couple years ago was Thanksgiving weekend, and it was also I mean, it was a week apart that we did it. It was good too.
And we went with Chris and Catherine, and it was
in July, and it was fine. Yeah.
July was the only thing about that was like if you're going to do something, you have to book those tours
ahead of time.
I would say almost 2 months. 2 months in advance.
Yeah, at least.
So
Yep.
I just can't believe we got Roger and Jer, Canadian Barbecue Mafia. You guys need to go check Jer out on his Instagram, and Roger, both as Patreon members tonight. Guys, that means a lot.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
So now we're on this Blue Run, which was number 4. And then I'm going to tell a Bigfoot story.
What about number 5s?
Oh, God. That is like...
Ooh, you poured me a big pour on that. Ooh.
And?
It's good.
You look like you're struggling.
It's kind of heated for me a little bit right off the bat. Mm-hmm.
I forget to look at the proof of this.
It is.
It's
now,
only 111 proof. I'm not getting the heat like Tina is. I'm getting just.
I do. I get that
really,
up front, but it has a lot of flavor that comes right out from the heat. So it's not all heat. You know what I mean? You can definitely taste the flavors.
That is so
Yours is remembering us
good.
Get rich and famous. Okay.
Rich and famous. I probably won't live that long. Maybe in my next life I'll come back, but guys, Blue Run knows what they're doing. That's all I got to say. Now, the Emerald Rye, which I heard a lot of people talk about that. If you like rye, maybe you would like the Emerald Rye. But to me, that was so peppery. I just couldn't handle it. I mean, it was pretty decent, but a lot of pepper. This Blue Run High Rye, you're getting that rye spice, a lot of spice, which is going to create a little bit of bitterness. Plus, it's aged pretty long. I can't remember what the age statement is. Let's see if it says in this. I can't see. But and we did a review of this before. It's 65% corn, 30% rye, and 5% malted barley. And
it does have a lot of flavor.
111 proof.
There's PJ. And let me say hi to, I see somebody new in here, 2-syllable Sam. Thank you for coming in. Love your all's videos. The history, heavy content appeals to me. Good on y'all. Well, thank you, 2-syllable Sam.
2-syllable Sam. Where is he? I've been missing a lot of people.
Might be she.
I may not be able to see you. So anyway, let me see that again.
And there's PJ.
It is saying there's it's full of caramel, which it is, and full of spices, which it is. Baking spices, they say. And it's toasted. It's got a number 4 alligator charred. It's aged in Frankfurt and Bardstown. And then it has, and then it's got like a little bit of a peppery finish to it.
See, and you assume I like pepper.
Oh gosh. See, now if you don't like the rye and you don't like that black pepper on the finish, then you may not like it. But to me, we're talking about Amy again.
It's always spicy.
2-syllable Sam. So let's see.
Spicy.
Love y'all's videos. The history heavy content appeals to me. Good. Well, thank you very much. And I love history.
Yes, he does.
And a lot of people like, so why do you do bourbon? Well, guys, bourbon is about American history. I love American history.
Absolutely.
And so bourbon is all about American history. and some, you look at George T. Stagg, who was a colonel during the Civil War.
Major Zero is saying good night. Good night, Major Zero. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
And appreciate you coming
Yes.
in, and appreciate you do for the world of bourbon.
Yeah, he's good. And just Major Zero, when you pass me up, probably in about 2 months, just remember me. And, I could focus only on bourbon and probably grow my channel, but that's not what I'm about. I am about history. I am about like food, and I am about like bourbon. And also I love Bigfoot. So we're going to tell a Bigfoot story that I read about.
And there's a John Shank. Shout out.
Yes,
Hello.
I saw John. John, I got your message, the comment on the recent video, and I appreciate that. Ooh, just cracked the Southern Star Paragon weeded bourbon. Now, wow, that is interesting. I've not seen that, so I'm glad you shared that with us.
Southern Star Paragon. Okay.
Lots Creek Day says U.S. Grant was a whiskey king. Oh yeah, yes he was. The thing about Ulysses Grant, he was the only person, the only general probably could have beat Robert E. Lee, because and I've diverged from my Bigfoot story, which I'm going to tell you in just a minute. When in the last days, when Grant was pushing Lee out of Richmond, one thing Grant did better than anybody was that, like, Lee would battle other generals, and sometimes Lee would lose more men, but they would inflict so many casualties on the Union that the Union would retreat and they'd fall back. Well, you can say whatever you want about Grant, but I'll use what Lee said. He said Grant would inflict tons of casualties on them. He would inflict tons of casualties on the Union. But Lee said in the morning, Grant was still there. And Grant would go into his tent and he would cry openly about the men that were lost and the casualties he had. And yeah, maybe he drank, but the next day he would come out and he'd fight again because he had that resolve. And he kept pushing Lee back, pushing Lee back, pushing Lee back, until we finally had the surrender at Appomattox, which brings up a point. I'm going to Appomattox pretty soon to do a video. So anyway, I love some history.
Yes.
He said they're out of North Carolina and available in the... Okay, John, I will check that out. So they're very good, very good. So, and lots of time you'll see me, like if I do the credits like historian, I always give it to Dave because Dave knows his history.
Yes, he does. So
anyway, I got a story coming to you from this book, The Hoopa Project by David Paulides. And if you don't know who David Paulides is, he's like he does the Missing 411 episodes and the Missing 411 books. And so you might want to check him out. He also has if you go to Can-Am Missing 411, you can see him on YouTube. The dude's amazing. So he wrote this book.
Sweet Tea.
And this story is about this. Is Sweet Tea on here?
She just came in. Hey, sweetheart.
Sweet Tea, we love you. She is a
Good
sweet,
to see
sweet
you.
person.
Happy New Year.
It's also great that Elijah Jones were classmates. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. Classmates before the war. Yep. So we love some sweet tea. She is a sweet person. And now we're going to talk about this guy, Phil Smith. See this guy? What a nice looking young man he was. Now I'm telling you the story. It's kind of a sad story in a way. Phil worked as a mechanic, auto mechanic, I think it was, for several years. And then his dad was running the Bluff Creek in Willow Creek, California, near Orleans. What are you laughing at, honey?
Amy.
Oh my God. I said, no, Amy, we're not talking about the hooker, the Hoopa. Hoopa. She's hilarious. And there's PJ. PJ, the next bottle we're going to do is about your pick. We're on number 5, but I'm taking a brief break for number 4. I know I'm pissing off a lot of the bourbon guys because they want to see what's on number 5. But it's about bourbon, Bigfoot, and other stuff. So we're just telling a Bigfoot story. He said DB Cooper and Sasquatch had never been seen together. I don't know. It could have been Sasquatch that took him away. But anyway, so here is Phil Smith, great guy. He was a mechanic. He loved his grandpa. His dad had a camping resort at Bluff Creek. Okay. And when he was 34, his dad said, Phil, just come up and you run the place. I'm getting older. You run the place. You can hang out with grandpa. Because they would always go to Bluff Creek and spend time with Phil's dad's father, his grandpa. And they'd spend a lot of time together. Well, his grandfather was the kind of guy like, he's going to tell you, which I love because that's what I do. It just tells you like it is. And grandpa would say, yep, there's Bigfoot out there. He's been there for a long, long time. And in 1967, when the Patterson and Gamblin guys came to make that film, they stopped into their grandfather's store, Phil's grandfather's store, to get supplies on their trip. And Phil's grandfather was like, man, you guys are crazy. Because the Native Americans say you should not be messing with Bigfoot. I mean, because they were actively going out to hunt for him. And of course, for the Native Americans, like the Hoopa natives, they would leave gifts for them. They called him Big Brother. They didn't want any ill things happening to their land or anybody. Let's see.
Well, hello, Michelle Monroe.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. We missed her. We did see her in El Cortez, though, didn't we?
Yeah, so good to see you. I miss you.
She's a sweetie. What's number 32, though? I don't know. So, guys, if I'm missing any important comments, it's Tina's fault.
Always.
And he's doing voice to text. Okay. So, anyway, happiest New Year to you, Neil. Hello, Neil, Michelle, Tom, and Mindy. PJ saying hi to everybody. I was like 32 for this life. Well, you should have come in early. You could have been number 50. We've been up there, which is good for us because we usually only get like 20. So I thank each and every one of y'all that came in because it's so awesome. And we're not going to go that much longer. I'm going to finish telling this story. We're going to drink number 5. And then if people are still around, I got one other story that's basically going to scare the crap out of you. So if you want to hear it, stick around. So, but anyway, this story is more of a sad story. So when Phil was like 12, he and his grandpa went up. They were building the Bluff Creek Road. Now, when Patterson Gamblin was there, it was just a dirt road. It was rough. But they were building the Bluff Creek Road. And as they're building it, the workers kept seeing these Bigfoot, especially this one big dude kept coming around, checking them out, kind of doing stuff to their site and whatever, picking up big pieces of equipment and throwing them, doing all kind of crazy stuff. So I guess because the Bigfoot felt like they were infringing on their land as they're going up Bluff Creek Road. So anyway, so the dad and the son go out. The son's like Phil's only like 12 at this time, and they see Shaky sign up as a member. My goodness.
Thank you, Shaky's Reviews.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that a lot. That means a lot. So it's 1960. That's the first time Bigfoot was on. No, but that's the first actual video. The Patterson Gamblin film, which you can Google. And so Shaky's Reviews, thank you so much. We appreciate your support. And so they see these big footprints. And I don't know if they take a picture, but this picture of the footprints, let's see if you can see that. That was a footprint that was actually taken by a police officer. Which you can see that's pretty daggone big. And so his grandfather, when the police officer brought that to him several years later, he brought it to Phil Smith's grandpa because grandpa said, yep. He said, that's a Bigfoot print for sure. It's not human, you can tell. And because it's wider and it's longer. And so anyway, it goes on. Then one day he's like 15, a few years later, he and his grandpa were out, like they would walk and they'd look for stuff. And they decided to cross the creek. So they got in this canoe and they crossed the creek and they banked the canoe. They got out and they're walking on. And they look up on this like a high cliff. And they see this huge Bigfoot standing there just looking at them. So they say, okay, well, I think it's time to go. So they got back in the canoe and they headed home. Now, and all this story is in David Paulides' book. And David Paulides had Phil Smith sign an affidavit saying that if you ever lied and could prove that you were lying, you would be sued for perjury. So, and Phil Smith had signed that. A couple years later, Phil, he's married, he's running this camp, and they would hear vocals. They'd hear vocalizations all the time, these big whoops. He said one time it was like they were hearing 3 whoops, like one would come from here, one would come over this area, and one would come close to their camp. And he said, and it was like, there would be like, it's almost like they were triangulating to meet. So they'd wait about 10 minutes and then there'd be another series. So they all were getting closer. Now that's pretty weird. You guys believe whatever you want to believe. But that's pretty daggone crazy.
Yeah.
So then David Paulides said, all right, on one of his trips, on one of Phil's trips, he's walking and he saw a big big pile of scat. Now, Phil's been there a long time. He's seen bear. He's seen other animals. He said this was more human-like, but way bigger than human. Maybe, we don't know. But anyway, he was going to take David Paulides to a secret place where he felt like he could get more evidence. So David Paulides couldn't get there right away, and he went back almost a year later. And he went back to the Bluff Creek camp, the resort, and his wife came out and he says, hey, I'm here to see Phil. Want to see if he can take me that place. And his wife said, well, he died. He died 10 days before David Pilatus got there.
Hmm.
And David was like, no. He's like, he said, no, I'm talking about your husband, Phil. And she goes, yeah, he died 10 days ago. So Phil was out scouting and had a big storm, and this huge tree fell on him and it killed him while he was out walking in the woods. So that's a sad story, but here's a guy that loved his grandpa and his dad and loved being out there, and then dies in that tragic way. And David Pilatus was getting ready to go out with him and do some more research for this book, and he ends up dying. So like I told you, this is kind of a sad story, and that is a sad story.
Yes.
So.
And Amy said, love y'all bunches. Maybe next weekend will be the one that Dad and I come and say hi. Please do, Amy.
We'd love to see y'all.
We'd love to see y'all.
Let's do it. So anyway, we still got some people. We're going to do number 5 now. This is the last one.
PJ, are you here?
PJ better be here. He might. I hope he hadn't checked out on us. So this is number 5. Now we've done 1 through 4, and we're going to do number 5. So you can watch back and go pretty quick. Tina, pick out number 5. Why is this number 5? Tell us about it.
Drum roll, please.
It's all about PJ, who may not even be here anymore.
Right. So hopefully he watches if he's not here. Number 5. Brass and Anchor Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Let me tell you what the bottle number 73, batch number 2, and it is
47.8 proof. So 95.6 proof. So.
95.6 proof. A unique bourbon aged in white oak barrels for at least 2 years and blended to perfection with the highest attention to detail that every warrior would be proud to drink. And again, like he said, a bottle from PJ. So
yeah, and Bigfoot stories, Tom, they do make you drink, so I apologize.
I'm just getting back from my
Neil says he's tempted to try all the bourbon. But now PJ, he does a really good story because he knew somebody that works. Did you say that?
No, I didn't.
That he knew somebody that works in that actually owns or works in the distillery. And when I reviewed it, they were very complimentary. Said, thank you so much for reviewing our whiskey. And that was very nice. So we're going to try Brass and Anchor, which is pretty cool. This is a Virginia whiskey.
Yeah.
Virginia whiskey.
Very unique.
So as you can see, Tina, she's very soft-hearted. And most of her bottles came from gifts from people, which I love too.
That makes them taste better.
It does.
PJ's here. So this one's going out to you, PJ. Cheers.
That is very good. I mean, the proof is 98%, 96.
95 point.
So this is another one. If you ever come to
95.6.
95.6. So this is another one. Like if you're beginning bourbon, you don't want to start with something real high proof because you want to get your palate acclimated. So this is pretty tasty.
Yeah.
It's got your caramel, vanilla,
And I mean,
a
guys,
little oakiness up front
Yeah.
to me, which is unusual. I usually don't get the oakiness up front.
Now this is better than when I tasted it the first time.
Oh yeah, because it's been opened up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate a little bit of a lower proof. I know. Y'all can call me a sissy if you want. I mean, I like the higher proofs too, but when you can sip something easy and still get flavor and enjoy it, I mean, why not? And this is that. And I thank you once again, Mr. PJ.
Yep. So PJ, you made that bottle's in the top 5. You could tell your friends or as your cousin, I can't remember who it was, that was in the top 5 bourbons of the year for Tina.
Yep.
And I've still got to do my number 5. So that's pretty cool. Shaky says the benchmark full proof with wild cherry Pepsi is delicious. Okay. Yeah. I've got to do a taste test with the full proofs, all the benchmark. Because when I first tried the very first benchmark 8, I ain't doing it. Twice, first and last. I'll never do it again. And Steve says, great story, Walt. You need a big pour this time because you're parched. And this is good.
Yeah.
Brass and Anchor. It's got a little spice on it. A little spice. I like it. Not heat, but spicy.
Yeah.
I don't know how much rye is in that. Hand me that bottle. Let's see if they
probably
didn't put their mash bill on here.
I'm telling you, this is the second or third time I've tried it, and I'm liking it better this time, even more than I did the first time.
It's aged in white oak barrels for 2 years. So for a 2-year-old whiskey, it's pretty darn good. And I usually scoff at something that's only 2 years, but they've done a pretty nice job. And what are you going to do when you first open a company? You got to put something out in 2 years. So that's not bad.
That is not bad. Really good for a 2-year whiskey.
Yes, it is.
See, I give the younger whiskeys love also. It doesn't all have to be old and aged.
Right. We got some new comments. Let me see.
PJ wishes he was home so he could have a drink.
She goes,
with us.
This year it's all about drinking all the whiskey you want. You got that right, Sweet Tea. You got that right, girl. They own the story and make the whiskey, I guess. Yeah, I'm parched. I gotta have a new pour. I gotta do number 5, guys.
And
my
PJ
5.
wishes he was home so he could have a drink with us because he still has some of his left.
I'll be proud to call you my sissy. Oops. So Amy's gonna call you sissy.
Sissy.
Yeah.
Okay, sissy. That's what I'm gonna call you next time I see you.
All right.
If that ever happens. Better be next week.
I'm sorry, guys. Those bourbon aficionados who wanted to just come in and see my first 5 and leave. You've had to endure a lot of talking.
Thank you for that.
And
thank you
a Bigfoot story. And
drum roll, please.
This is my number 5. And I'll review my number 5 real quick. Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, number 1. Calumet 16, number 2. Barrel Bourbon, 10-year, number 3. There was Cask Strength, number 3. Blue Run High Rye, number 4. And actually, the Reflection one almost made the list too because that stuff is good. And then I just love this stuff. I must like ryes because not full ryes, but high rye. This is the Remus high rye, highest rye, aged 6 years. And where did we get this, Tina? I can't remember. I think it was at Total Wine, wasn't it?
Oh, you're stumping me because I cannot remember. And Tom E has a question.
It could be MC's Liquor. Walt, have you seen this? I was in a fancy store, also known as Overpriced. They had a bottle of JD twice barreled special release. Wow. You'll see that. Twice barrel means it's like double oaked. And I wouldn't have paid $600 either.
No, but they can get expensive.
They
he saw
can.
it elsewhere for $300, so like half the price.
And PJ said something about watch the video. Hang on a second. Hang on. I missed some videos.
Cindy said it's been a fun live. See you guys again soon. Oh, good night, Cindy and Derek. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us. We love you guys.
I love Derek and Cindy.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few people that I call and just talk to, which I love because most people just want to text. But I guess when you get to be my age, I'd rather talk to you on the phone. You remember the days when we had that? We would sit there. We would have the long cord on the phone, and we'd pull that cord into a room so we could talk in private or whatever. But so I would much prefer just talking on the phone. I guess that's my age. So I talk to Derek and Cindy a lot. They'll call me when they're driving, or I'll call them when I'm driving or whatever. And of course, Jer and Kim too. We talk to them on the phone.
And Roger Randall said, bingo, great bottle.
This is a great bottle. So Remus.
And Steve is sipping on that right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Wow. Remus. Good
night, Cindy. We love you both.
Yeah, and I said before you leave, we got the Gatlinburg Sky Park Glencairn I picked up when we all were there.
Yes, ma'am, sweet tea. I have had this cough for about 2 weeks, and it's slowly getting better, but
not really.
Yeah, that's what it has been, and hopefully it goes away soon. But thank you very much, Miss Sweet Tea.
Neil said there's a whiskey bar that recently opened up near his place. That's cool. Go in there.
Steve D.
Try that.
Welcome in, Mr. Steve D. Thank you.
He says, I'll pass this on to them and make sure they see it. They watch the video. Thanks, Tina and Walt. Thank you for hooking us up with that. That was nice. And that's a great bottle.
Yeah.
He said they make this distillery. They own the distillery, make the whiskey, just a couple of years old. I know. That's just really awesome. Fun live. See you. Sipping on that right now. God, that's good. Oh, man. This stuff's...
Bill Coleman. Good evening, sir.
Oh, my gosh. Bill is the man.
Good to see you. Hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Great to see you.
Yeah, it's crazy the prices we're getting on some bourbons and stuff like that. It is crazy. Sweet Tea says, please take care of the cost. She needs to go to the doctor, Trisha. Period. I keep telling her.
I think it's getting better.
She's been smoking cigarettes since she's like 19.
Hush, Walt. Hush.
He said, trying to keep the conversations quiet in the 80s normally meant the phone cord. Exactly. When we had the long cords on our phones back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means we're disconnected if you're trying to keep quiet. That's a great comment. If I missed your comment, guys, I apologize. It's Tina's fault because I talk a lot. She's supposed to be watching that screen.
Steve said, even better in an adventure glass. Thanks, Tina and Walt, for the gift. You're welcome,
nice.
Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, and Steve, Steve Hickey, he doesn't like to put his card out on the internet. So you know what he did? He bought me a prescription to the Whiskey Advocate or subscription.
Yeah.
Not a prescription. A subscription. No, a magazine. So I get those pills in the mail. I mean, I get the magazine in the mail. They're awesome magazines. And I know Tina said hi, and we love Bill Coleman. What?
Good to see you.
The greatest of all time for sure. The GOAT.
Yep.
We love
That's
Bill.
The GOAT. Mr. Bill.
Glad you came in,
And there's
Bill.
Destiny. Say hi to her.
Where? Where's Destiny? Must be down. We got people. Oh, there she is. Destined for Vegas. I love Destiny. I only met her one time.
I know.
But
It's about
she's
time
awesome.
we need to see you again,
Because she's
girl.
cool. She's just cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So fun hanging out with her.
Yeah.
The one and only time we got to at the Keno wedding.
Tom says, "Don't Sweet Tea look lovely in her profile picture?"
Yes. She
She
does.
always does.
She always looks.
She always looks hotter than a pistol.
I know. She does.
She's hotter than a pistol in Chicago. And we know they all hot down in Chicago. And guys, while we're talking, make sure you go. Now this t-shirt right here, this is a cool shirt. It's almost like, reminds me of like Iron Man or something. Like this astronaut punching, I mean, into the AM. I put this up here early and I'll do it again.
I have a cool shirt. After you.
Yeah, go ahead.
AM.
Talk about it.
I got this on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. And it has all, I don't know if you can see, but it has all of the distilleries
Yeah,
that are
come this way a little bit.
on the
There you go.
Kentucky Bourbon Trail.
That's really cool.
If you can see them. And if you haven't visited.
If you put your
Kentucky-
ass up on the counter, we could see them.
And yeah, no. That's it. And if you haven't gotten a chance to visit the Kentucky Bourbon Trail and you love bourbon, it is so worth making the trip.
It is.
Pick your
It
favorite
is.
ones or interesting ones, whatever you would like to do.
Destiny
It
says
is fun.
we're awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Destiny.
So
You're awesome.
So anyway, we that's my 5. And I'm going to go back to the Remus because I only got a little tiny pour of that. I got to get some more.
What? I still have a big pour. You must have poured me a lot.
There's Steve D.
Yeah, he came in earlier.
Well, Steve, I
Let's
missed
say
you.
hi.
Sorry, Steve. He
Yes,
says-
we do, Steve.
I agree 100%. That's bucket list. So I don't usually like to tell my plans, but if I have to drive to see Bill when we're out there in Vegas, end of April, 1st of May, then I will do it. I'll let Bill know my schedule, and we're going to meet because I love this man. And Steve, I'm sure, hopefully you'll be there as well.
Yes,
Steve,
would like to
Steve,
meet you too,
great
Steve.
guy. He's
Yeah.
always see Steve. He's a good guy.
Yes.
Steve says he's lucky enough to see him all the time. I was so jealous when I saw Neil
I know.
with
I did.
Bill
I
and
see
Steve.
that.
I'm like,
I saw that
dang,
too.
go, man. I was happy,
Yeah.
but I was like, dang, I want to meet Bill. He's done so much. You know, there's a few people just go above and beyond, and Bill really does.
Steve said he would take us over to see him.
That'll be great. That'll be great, Steve. That'll be wonderful. So we'll coordinate that because that's bucket list number one.
Yes.
We definitely got to make that happen.
We might have to kidnap him and drive him back to Vegas with us.
And just as I mentioned the goat, so look what he does. I mean, look what he does. Yeah, this is what he does all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Bill has told me to give him a notification about our lives, but I feel bad because I'm like, well, if I notify him, then he'll try to donate, or he'll think I'll expect to donate, and I don't want to do that.
We don't expect.
And I know Bill doesn't. He doesn't think about that at all. He just does everything because he's such a good man.
100% genuine from his heart. And
his heart is so good.
That is a fact.
Yes.
Thank you, Bill. As always. Happy New Year, buddy.
And Tom says, "Sweet tea, you don't want to be my friend anymore, do you?" What's this?
They're always.
Who doesn't want to be? Oh, everybody wants to be Tom's friend. He's Mr. GQ, right?
It takes Sweet Tea and Kia-Belle to keep Tom straight. They have a rough job. They have a rough job.
Bill loves to work to lurk. He said, "Walt, you're a dummy. I just want to know so I can join in on the fun since you were hard to catch." Well, that is true. And I hated to cancel. This was actually first scheduled December 13th, but I was having stomach pains where it felt like I was being poked with like a real sharp needle. And so I knew I had to change my diet, and I did, and those pains went away. So I got to change my diet. And
we're both doing that for the new year. Of course,
Tom says, "Read my profile picture." I can't.
So cliche because everybody always does that. But we're serious. We really have to. And so we're trying to make it a good goal for 2024 and have
he says everything.
Lifelong.
Look, Tom, he says everything is more fun if your friends are idiots. That's that's the truth. I got some idiot friends, I'll tell you that.
But they're fun.
But they're fun. It makes them fun. So you overlook their idiocy. I'm a dummy. I am hard to catch. So anyway, this is Remus. Gosh, that could probably pass up at this point after 5, 10, whatever, how many pours we took. That Remus is good.
It's good.
That's
good. It is good. I'll have to say, my 5 is really 10.
Right, and my 5 is really 10 too, because I love it when people gift us bottles.
Oh.
And that really is very special.
Yes.
It's like, and I love it when, Bill, like I've been able to buy lots of bottles because of Bill.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these bottles that you see that we've been on hunts for, that's because of Bill.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
And because of Derek and Cindy Stephan.
Yep.
I mean, those people really make a big impact on our life. Steve D. I asked Bill a question this afternoon, and I didn't hear from him since yesterday when we were plotting against Mark. So I was worried about him tonight. Glad he's okay. Old goat didn't look at his phone. Bill, finish your chocolate cake. He loves that chocolate cake.
Oh, Tom knows that too.
Yeah. Tom is something else. I've had the pleasure of meeting Tom a couple of times. Spent some time with Tom. And had a blast. I go back to work Friday after breaking my leg when I got assaulted at the prison I work at. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
My goodness.
Wow. Sorry about that,
Man,
Shakies.
number one, I appreciate
Dang.
what you're doing. You got to be a brave person to do that. And obviously, you've been doing it for a long time. So, hope you recover.
Yeah.
And
happy movement to your retirement.
Yeah, may those 3 years come quickly.
Yeah.
But not too quickly, because you got to enjoy life.
Exactly.
Because in 3 years, I'll be very old. Let's hope I live that long.
And we'll keep the bourbon lives going for you so you can make it through. How about that? Keep joining in.
Well, that's good, Bill. So I'll message you early, give you a couple months and then I'll go to live and say, hey, Bill, I'll send you a message. How about that? So, but we're going to make it happen. John said, send him some chocolate cake. Yep. I need to send him some. I've sent him brownies. It's hard to find cake to send. I'm sending cookies. I know chocolate chip or whatever. So, guys, we're going to let you go. And thank you, Bill. Sweet Tea says, Bill, it's so damn great seeing you in the new. I know. I imagine that was great. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll save the scary video, but I'll tell you what the
we'll have to save that for next time.
The next story. I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I'm going to show you this scary creature.
Thank you, Bill. You as well.
That
Happy 2024.
The next live, we're going to talk about this thing right here.
Can you share your screen? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Hang on, guys. There we go.
See that creepy looking being? That's called a Wendigo. And I've got a story to tell you about a gentleman that actually lives in Virginia that went on a outing with three of his friends. So there's 4 of them in this little cabin, and they were having a good time until this thing showed up. And he describes it pretty much exactly like that thing right there.
Yeah.
So
scary.
Wait till the next story. It's going to be fun.
And Neil Macedo said he's heard about them.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Everyone saying good night and have a great 2024. And thanks for the live stream and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to everyone. We appreciate you so much. And this was fun tonight. And we love our bourbons, and we loved our bourbons of 2023. And we're going to do more and more and more.
And Bill says, good night to all here to chat except Steve D. He says, we will talk before you pass out. And Terry Meyer, he's a good guy. He kind of lays back, don't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I've spoken to him on Facebook Messenger a few times. He's a good guy. I mean, him and his wife, Sue, what's his wife's name?
Yes, I think it's
Sue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice people.
Sweet Tea telling me to go to the doctor. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, she does need to go to the doctor. Because she's been smoking them.
Listen, it's a cold and...
That's gone on for like 3 months?
No, not 3 months. It's gone on for like 10 days.
2 months and 3 weeks?
No. Wrong.
It's been going on since Christmas. No. Yeah.
Yeah, since Christmas.
Yeah, so that's forever.
It isn't.
Love y'all. We're going to get out of here in 10 seconds.
Good night, everyone. Happy New Year.
All right, I'll
Cheers.
have to message him to get his number.
Who?
Steve. And we love Scott. We love all you guys that came in. Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
You guys,
you all.
the new members. We've got YouTube members and Patreon members. Thank y'all so very much. It means a lot.
Cindy, Derek, if you're still out there. Well, I think they
left.
Peaced out, but good night to everyone.
Look who just Kia-Belle.
Kia-Belle.
That's our biggest, longest, since I gotta say something about Kia real quick. Bruce was my first Patreon member, and I think Kia was my first YouTube member, I think. And she's like the sweetest person in the world. I know it's hard to believe because Sweet Tea's so sweet and Tina's sweet, but Kia's right there with them. And a lot of people.
Love you, Kia-Belle. Happy New Year, dear. Good to see you.
All right, we're going to leave. She's probably been lurking the whole night.
She has. She's the best lurker ever,
and I'm just
she said.
waiting for her to show up so I can tell her how much we care about her.
We love her.
She does Patreon and YouTube. And
Tommy said, Kia, are we still married? Walt and Tina get me drunk and I don't remember.
She goes, Kia-Belle and Joyce always make sure they're in Vegas when Bill and I are there. Yeah, we all love Kia. Yeah, Kia's she's just a wonderful person.
She is.
So, she's been my longtime biggest supporter. And
Jared said 2 hours with us flies by.
It does. Y'all have a great evening. See y'all later.
Peace
Keep
out.
it squatchy. What'd you
Love
say?
y'all.
You want to do it again? Keep it squatchy.
Mwah. Good night.